Hello there. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm Colleen Klimczak. I'm an organizational and productivity coach and a certified professional organizer. I own Peace of Mind Professional Organizing, LLC. Since 2003, I've been helping my clients live better lives through organizing and organizational and productivity coaching. I support my clients and my community with coaching, in-person and virtual organizing, my weekly podcast called Your Organized Life with Colleen Klimczak, a free weekly virtual productivity session called Finish Line Friday, a free weekly email newsletter, and regular content on Facebook and Instagram. I also offer presentations and professional development to groups and companies. And coming soon, I'll be launching my membership circle to support my community with even more coaching and productivity content. Want to finish strong this week? Join me for Finish Line Friday every Friday morning at 9 a.m. Central for a 2-hour productivity session. Drop me an email at colleen@peaceofmindpo.com to request my Zoom room link or follow the Zoom room link on my Instagram or Facebook pages. Welcome to Your Organized Life, episode 171. I started the writing process for this article by taking a nap. And here is why. I have what has been described clinically as a robust immune response to vaccines, which is a good thing, I am told. A family member recently asked us to get a booster of a vaccine for their safety, and I did that the day that I started writing this. But then my arm was sore and I was extra tired. So instead of just trudging ahead, I decided that everything would be better after a short nap. And it was. I realized as I was writing that it would be hypocritical of me to write an article about giving ourselves grace, about cutting ourselves some slack when life is tough, and to not also do the same for myself. The good news is grace isn't just for walking around. The working title for this article and episode was Cut Yourself Some Slack, but I wanted to get more specific, so I Googled other ways to say it. Oh, and there were dozens. It was great. So here are some of my favorites. Be nice to yourself. Show yourself some grace. Be more understanding with yourself. Be merciful. Be lenient. Bail out. Pull out of the fire. Let off the hook. Grant immunity. Spare. Pardon. Forgive. Absolve. I told you, these are pretty good. Give reprieve, give amnesty, excuse, exempt, free, discharge, release, bail out, let go and refrain from hurting. Again, I liked these better. I don't know if I've ever started an episode or article this way, but the message this week is to remind us all to cut ourselves some slack. And I mean ourselves, you and me, because I am terrible at this some days. I assume positive intent from others, and I can grant grace and excuse and exempt every other person in my life when they need it, and even when they don't, and even complete strangers. And I forget to do the same for me. Anyone else out there? Does this resonate with you? Yeah, I thought so. I'm going to ask you right now to save this episode if you're listening to the podcast, or put a star next to the email in your inbox if you're reading this, because I want you to come back to it as needed. All of my articles and episodes live on my website and can be re-listened to or reread, but I want to say especially this one. And this may also be one of the shortest episodes because it feels like one of the simplest messages. Be nice to yourself. Show yourself the same grace you show the rest of the world. Most of my community members, whether you listen to my podcast or read my newsletter or engage with me on social media or come out and see me at public events, or maybe I ran into you at the library the other day. But most of my members are awesome and high-achieving people. In other communities, I might worry about suggesting that people take a break or take a step back or show themselves grace and rest, but not you. I'm guessing you may need some gentle nudges to be nicer to yourself. And here's the first. Be nice to yourself. Show yourself the same grace you show the rest of the world. Maybe this topic goes along with my recent article and episode about self-care, but not really. This message is not about productivity. It's about our worth and value as people, as human beings. You and I don't have to wait until we've published the article or made the meal or made the phone call or taken care of the client or anyone else to be nice to ourselves, to take a break, to take a breath. Be nice to yourself. Show yourself the same grace you show the rest of the world. On a call with a client last week, she listed all the things that she had done since January 1st. She'd cleaned up after the holidays. She had traveled for a week and a half. She was taking 2 classes in new and complicated subjects. She had taken on some new habits to improve her routines. And it was only the end of February. And then she apologized to me because her decluttering efforts had stalled. Yeah, we do that to ourselves, don't we? As her organizational coach, my first suggestion was to cut herself some slack. And when I say it for others, I am saying it for all of us and to myself. Here's the theme again. Be nice to yourself. Show yourself the same grace you show the rest of the world. We need to see ourselves through more objective lenses. Sure, you've done the things, and even if you haven't, that's not what defines us. I was being coached last week. Yes, of course, the coach gets coached. And after I shared my report of what's been going on with me, my coach didn't ask how I was going to get more done, even in this busy time, or why I hadn't done X, Y, or Z. She gently asked, where is self-care in all of that? In the intro to my podcast, I share that I've been helping my clients live better lives through organizing and productivity and organizational coaching. And some days that includes reminding us to be kinder to ourselves, to shift our perspectives, to find the balance in our lives, and to take a break. Because at the heart of it, that is what matters. We all carry heavy loads. We all carry invisible loads, and the world feels really hard right now. And that matters, but it also doesn't, because we don't have to earn rest. It doesn't have to be hard for us to earn a rest. We may hear from others, or we may tell ourselves, you should be able to do this or that, blah, 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 right? But we're not invincible. We're not immortal. We're not perfect. And is anyone actually asking us to be anyway? I mean, really anyone who truly cares for us, at least? Or is it me expecting me to be invincible? We are often the stabilizing force for the other people in our lives and in our world that are also suffering, which means we want to take a break and rest because our hearts are heavy and our brains are full and we don't feel like we get to. Maybe you don't have the bandwidth to help all the people that you usually help. Maybe you don't have all the energy to go the extra mile. Maybe you just need to look inside and do a little extra care for your own heart and your own well-being because you're running on fumes. Be nice to yourself. Show yourself the same grace you show the rest of the world. It's tough out there for a lot of us, and that's not minimizing. The point is that we all share in that we have loads to carry. And sometimes the loads are heavy and we just need to give ourselves some grace. I'm there. I'm in that state. I need to cut myself some slack. And since many of my listeners and community members are similar to me, it's possible, it is likely, it's even probable that at least some of you could also benefit from hearing that. Maybe you just need to stop for a minute and take a couple deep breaths. I started to say applaud yourself for all that you do, like our recent look at the done list. But honestly, no, our worth doesn't come from our doing. We just have it inherently as humans. You know, maybe that's a podcast episode for another day, but it is the truth, right? Like we just need to cut ourselves some slack some days. Let me tell you and myself, it's going to be okay. We got this. What needs to happen is going to happen. It's going to happen in its own time. We don't want to be so busy in these busy times that we also miss the fabulous opportunities that are coming our way, or the bliss of a good night's sleep, or the joy in seeing people at busier times of year that you hadn't seen in a while, or meeting new people and making friends, all of these things can be true. Be nice to yourself. Show yourself the same grace you show the rest of the world. Our pastor occasionally ends the Mass saying, "May God bless you gently this week." And I love that. So may God bless us gently this week. If you needed to hear that today, let me be the first to tell you one more time, be nice to yourself. Show yourself the same grace you show the rest of the world. And I'm going to tell myself the same. And don't forget to subscribe and save this episode. Support around living our best lives is what coaching is all about. If it's time to invest in yourselves and explore coaching for organizing and productivity, I would love to hear from you. Drop me a line via email at colleen@peaceofmindpo.com or message me through my social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Thank you so much, and talk to you next week.